Hey, Boogie back with another video today. Today, I'll be talking about my favorite power forward of all time. No other than the relentless, tenacious Kevin KG Garnett. So, pretty much, man, Kevin Garnett is one of the best power forwards of all time. Basically, definitely my favorite of all time. He's definitely top three, no doubt about it. And pretty much, man, Kevin Garnett pretty much is one of the best two-way players you've ever seen at his position, and been one of the best two-way players of all time. And pretty much, man, his offensive game doesn't get brought up enough because of his tenacious attitude and relentless approach to the game. And pretty much, man, this dude offensive game is so underrated because he can facilitate, can handle the rock, good handles for his height. Got a deadly lethal mid-range game and a nice post-fadeaway game as well. And he can finish at the rim, of course. So, let's get into the Timberwolves version of Kevin Garnett. Pretty much, coming out of high school, man, pretty much automatically was already electrifying based off his aura, his attitude, his approach to the game. And then, became an all-star just like Kobe. Became an all-star within his very second season of the league. And Kevin Garnett, Timberwolves, man, pretty much the best Timberwolves players of all time, hands down, for what he did for their franchise. Carrying that franchise to many playoff trips. And pretty much, man, Kevin Garnett is, during his time with the Timberwolves, of course, him and Stephon Marbury, a big what-if duo. Just didn't work out. That time being there, you see there was an electrifying intensity duo. Worked perfectly well. There was a perfect duo, based off skill set and tendencies. And with Kevin Garnett, he doesn't really have that type of game where you could be like it's one-dimensional, because it's not. Because you look at his Timberwolves stats, his career stats with the Timberwolves, dude was a great rebounder. I think he led the league in the rebounding 4 straight seasons with the Timberwolves. And, dude averaged more than like 12 rebounds per game. And, pretty much, man, Kevin Garnett with the Timberwolves was just as great as anybody in the league. Offensive game, you see, pretty much, my intro, dude was athletic as it can be. Just his intensity, his very tenacious. His attitude was just off the charts in a good way. And of course, his defense is none other, pretty much one of the most versatile defenders you will ever see in your life, because he can guard the 1 through 5, preferably 1 through 4. Pretty much on perimeter. But dude was very agile, mobility. I mean, he can move like a small forward, shooting guard per se. When he has that speed within himself. And Kevin Garnett, I guess. To me, he gets kind of overshadowed with the fact that he kept getting out the first round so many times before eventually getting some kind of help during his MVP year, which I'm getting to that in a minute. But getting out the first round, losing to, I think it was at one point with the Kings, it was the Spurs, and then it was against Dallas, and then eventually I think he made out the first round and lost the second round to the Lakers in the 2003 playoffs. But for what he did there, for what he did to their franchise, making a name himself, pretty much marketable player, small market team, and Kevin Garnett, man, just pretty much this is his best season right here. Seeing this highlight, seeing this clip, I mean, dude offensive game, it's just, you see how lethal and efficient he was within the mid-range game. And his offensive skill set is so, it just really overlooked because of the fact that his defensive tenacity and his, very aggressive approach to the game overlooked his offensive skills. Because we all know the famous highlight clip of him playing against the other players in the 1-on-1 full court drill on Team USA in the year 2000. I mean, dude, ball handling skill for his size at 6'11". I mean, that's scary. Then you also see in this clip where he went coast to coast, making passes, coming down, finishing at the rim. I mean, Kevin Garnett had all the skills. I mean, out of him, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, he is the most complete on-around power forward because he played both ends. It's just that the fact that between Dirk, Tim Duncan, and KG, Dirk is the best shooter. Tim is probably the best defender, but KG is the most complete all-around power forward because he can shoot the three. Not shoot the three. The only thing he couldn't do on offense, he wasn't a good three-point shooter. But he had the post fadeaway, the post hook, the shimmy in the post, the mid-range game, and he could finish at the rim. And he was a great facilitator for his size and height. And I don't think people really understand it in a way that, like I said, it gets overshadowed from his great tenacity defense and his approach and leadership approach to the game. And Kevin Garnett, his ambition, his attitude, and determination is what inspired me to become a fan of his. And like I say, he's just always been an electrifying, aggressive approach to each game he has played throughout his career. And that's why I want to give him his flowers about this video today. And obviously, like I said earlier, he's my favorite power forward of all time. And then, after the Timberwolves era, hands to the big three of him, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and of course eventually Rondo. And the Celtics era, he pretty much took a step back offensively of scoring, but he became more of a defensive anchor. Pretty much won Defensive Player of the Year in 2008. And pretty much seen this clip, man, how he was getting buckets in the NBA Finals of 2008. I mean, dude was averaging pretty much a double-double. And pretty much this dude, take that sacrifice of not being, the biggest option on offense to score, because he was still getting more than like 14 points per game, still in his peak of his prime with the Celtics, before he got hurt. But, take that more of a defensive role, leadership role. I mean, Kevin Garnett was phenomenal. And, pretty much, man, like I said earlier in this clip, you see how he crossed over Pau Gasol, and, and finishing at the rim. Like, Kevin Garnett's offensive game is so, it's appreciated, but it's not given enough credit. And, like I said, with his great defensive prowess and, ability to, block a shot and then ever go coast to coast, finishing at the rim, or can make a good pass. And Kevin Garnett, like I said, it's really out of him, Dirk and Tim Duncan and Karl Malone, he is the most complete all-around power forward in my opinion, because he can play both ends, guard 1 through 4 on perimeter, and is a great intimidating shot blocker at the rim. And Kevin Garnett, had a very, very great career, carrying one franchise on his back and then going to another franchise and eventually winning a championship and making himself an all-time great Celtics. So, Kevin Garnett had a very tenacity, wonderful, great journey for his career. And, Kevin Garnett, like I said, man, if anybody's going to give him flowers, it's going to be me today. So, he's doing this thing with his podcast. Shout out to his podcast with him and Paul Pierce. He's doing this thing. So, Kevin Garnett, man, deserves his flowers, no doubt about it. And, like I said, he's the top 3 best power forward of all time. And obviously, he's my favorite of all time, no doubt about it. So, that's my take on Kevin Garnett, the big ticket. Let me know in the comments who y'all think y'all best power forward of all time. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever you gotta do. I love you guys. Jay Boogie is out.